Hi, Drishti. Welcome. Welcome to the Knowledge Happy Hour. All right. Good evening, everyone. Once again, you know that we meet every Wednesday for the Knowledge Happy Hour Season 2. And Season 2, why? Because we had a fabulous Season 1 in the month of April, back to back for 17 days. And Knowledge Happy Hour is all about where, we bring in a new speaker and, they just come in, they share knowledge, and it's just a, platform to just come and learn. So we had a fabulous season 1, and this is a season 2. I'm your host, Sonia Dubey Divan, and yes, I'm really, really excited to see you all. So once again, welcome. Hi, Latasha. Hi, hello. Hi for joining us, and thank you for joining us. Hi, Nitin. Thank you for joining us, and let's get started. Today also, we have a very special guest with us. Hi, Cindy. Thank you for joining us from US. And Latasha is from Houston. Nice. We are having viewers from all across the world, and that's what Knowledge Happy Hour is all about. So today also, I have a great speaker and another amazing speaker. And today we are bringing to you somebody from the fitness fraternity. So can I have my speaker for today? Can I have, hi Rubleen, good evening. Hi Ritika, hope you're doing well, and waiting for my speaker to join. There she is. Hi Shivani.
Hi.
Welcome and welcome to the Knowledge Happy Hour. So good to see you here, and thank you for joining us for this event. Anita has also joined, so you can say hi to Anita.
Hi, Anita. Thank you so much for joining in.
All right, so all our viewers right now, let me just give you a quick introduction to all of you about Shivani and a little bit, brief introduction, and then Shivani will, of course, take you through her journey on fitness and a very interesting speaker today we have. So Shivani Patel is a licensed fitness instructor for PoundFit. She is also into functional training, mat reformer, Pilates, and personal training from ACSM, American College of Sports Medicine, and American Council of Exercise, which is ACE. She graduated from college with a degree in mass communication and further pursued a master degree in public relation. She began her career in the corporate sector, working with Hollywood studios as a corporate communication manager. She left her corporate career to pursue her passion when she discovered her love for fitness 9 years ago. She's now vigorously involved in running her own very venture called Sculptus.
Yeah.
You can correct me, Shivani, how to pronounce it correctly if I have done it wrong. Sculptus.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So welcome to the show and welcome to the Knowledge Happy Hour, Shivani. And it's really, really good to have you here. So welcome.
Thank you so much, first of all, for giving me this opportunity. And I'm very thankful and very happy to be here to share my journey. And thank you so much, viewers, for joining in, because it means a lot. Because this is something that is very close to my heart. This is something I'm more passionate about in life.
That's great, Shivani. And I think you have a lot to talk about today. I know that you're going to talk about your fat loss journey and the importance of exercise, fitness, and even breathing patterns, and a lot of different things you're going to take our viewers through. So do you want to just get started? Shall we? Okay, so let me just pull up and share your screen for you to get started.
Yeah.
Just give me a moment. Okay, there we are. All right. So over to you, Shivani. Please take it forward from here.
Thank you so much. So the journey as a fitness instructor actually started from being a trainee first. I was 130 kgs and today I'm 69. And the amount of weight loss that I have done, I would rather say fat loss, because I'm amongst the person who do not go on the weighing machine to check the numbers and get distracted. And I always say that to everybody whom I meet. So there was a trainer who used to come at 6 o'clock in the morning when I was very huge, I would say. And he used to come 5 days in a week at 6 a.m. And I used to be very upset that he used to be reaching up in time and I had to take the training. But he was very consistent. I have PCOD and I have hypothyroid. And I had developed a habit of binge eating. And I had, in fact, an addiction for eating. I would rather say that. And when I had PCOD and hypothyroid, and over the years when I started losing weight, I always hear this thing from mostly from women that I have PCOD and thyroid, and it's very difficult to lose weight. And I disagree to that, and I can literally prove it now that it is not the fact, because I've managed to lose the amount of weight that I had piled on because of binge eating and addiction of eating rather. And there was a time when I was body shamed by a lot of men, and they used to always say that up here I'm gorgeous and down there I'm appalling. I've heard those things about me, and they really give me goosebumps. I literally feel sad thinking about it, that there are people who can come up to you and actually tell this to you. And there was a time when, whenever we used to go in a car, there were people who used to tell me, oh, you sit in the front seat because you occupy a lot of space. And I was like, all right. And that led to a lot of depression and anxiety in my life. And that was a battle that I had to actually fight more than fitness, because the amount of, comments that people used to pass. Even there was a time when I sat in a rickshaw and there's an uphill. So the rickshaw guy used to always tell me that, ma'am, utar jao, because aapke wajan ki wajah se rickshaw nahi chadegi. And that was like, okay, so this also is a part of it. And I'm sure many people would have gone through it. Many people would have heard all these comments. But today I'm thankful to all those things and all those incidents that happened, because of who I am today. And also, most importantly, the trainer I had in my life was very consistent, who made my goal his goal, that, I have to someday at some point lose this amount of fat. And he once told me that, Shivani, you'll become a fitness instructor. And I was like, no, I'm not going to become a fitness instructor. They don't make money, because I'm in a very high profile job and I don't want to quit my job. But I fell in love with fitness through this journey, and I'm glad that it took a very long time. And in between that, I also met with an accident. I was bedridden for 3 months, in fact, for a year. And I was 90 kgs then. And I was like, all right, now there's a break and I won't be able to do things that I wanted to do. And I lost all the hope when, again, my trainer came into my life and he's like, you have this one leg that's functioning. You have to hit the gym. Let's train this one leg. Otherwise, even this will become immobile and lose all the strength that you have gained. So I'm very, very thankful that he actually came again. And he made sure that during that whole journey, he still made sure that I continue it, even with that one leg. And I still have the inability to do a couple of exercises. Like when I participate in yoga sessions and I do certain asanas, I cannot, because I've lost the range of motion forever. And obviously, when a human touches and does anything to your body, you will not get the perfection that you're born with. And the most important thing that I have learned through my fat loss journey is that I was very accountable to my instructor. That is one thing that kept me going. And today I expect the same thing from my clients. Wherever they are, wherever I am, even if I'm traveling, I make sure that they are accountable to me for their diet or exercise. Whatever they do, they have to tell me. So that's my fitness journey. And then I became a trainer from a trainee.
That's a wonderful journey, Shivani, and means hearing those incidents that I'm sure right now, if you look at the hindsight and you're grateful, but and it takes a lot of courage, a lot of strength to actually, take those comments and just use maybe, still go on with things, because sometimes they really, really affect you. I know a lot of people when they can't really put up with body shaming. So hats off to you that you did that, and you are setting an example for a lot of people. And I'm pretty sure you have all the all your experience, and you'll be sharing a lot of inputs from your life with all our viewers today who can take something back, something valuable back. Shivani, you have to just, because I'm running your slides, so you can just keep telling me that change the slide. So I would just do that for
Sure.
you. You can just put it in the
My
comments. You have done
first,
that already. Okay.
sure. My first mantra that I usually would say that is train your mind and your body will follow, and that is exactly what I have done. And I would say that to everybody, that the fitness begins in your mind first and then your body. So during my fat loss journey that I have from 130 to 69, you can see it here. And during all of this, I have only realized that it is very important to be disciplined and have a consistency. And there are no shortcuts. Like there are people, and at times I was motivated as well, that go for a surgery or get a tummy tuck done. But then I realized that nothing is permanent. The only permanent pain is when you go through this whole process, you will have that discipline in your life. And do not go for shortcuts is what I would always say. All this while, all these 4 years, from 2017 to 20, I've never taken a shortcut.
I can't believe that that's your picture, Shivani. It's just so mind blowing and at the same point of time inspiring to see that yes, this is possible. So yeah, means I think it's wonderful.
And now we go to the holistic approach towards fitness. I would not talk about fat loss alone. I would talk about fitness in general. So my mantras include exercise, rest, nutrition, mental health, and regular checkup. I would first like to emphasize on exercise. So the first thing is lifestyle change. When I say lifestyle change, the huge part of fitness is that you have to first feel within you can do it, and it's not going to happen overnight. So patience is something that you have to really, really learn. Okay. Set realistic goals, because I never thought of losing this much amount of weight. I only told my trainer I'll lose 10 kgs, I'll look a little thin, and I'm going to be okay. I never had the intention to lose so much weight. So set realistic goals. And the first thing that I did when my trainer used to come, I used to work out with him only for 2 minutes and go back home and sleep. I did that for 2 months and he was still consistent. And it took me about 3 months to get to a point where I started working out for 15 minutes. So that's my mantra, that start working out for at least 15 minutes every day and then set a goal for 1 hour. It's not important that you have to work out for 1 hour, because that itself is a task. Oh, I have to work out for 1 hour. Oh, I have to devote 1 hour of my life to work out. That itself becomes a task. Genuinely, I have worked out for 15 minutes for 3 more months. And then I moved to 1 hour after 6 months. So when you have realistic goals, when you go slow, and I have learned this during my training these days of mountaineering that I'm doing. I'm entering into a new sport and I'm learning mountaineering now. So in that, my trainer told me that smooth is fast and fast is smooth. And he's like, if you understand this, you're going to be getting it. So I said, all right, what does that mean? So he's like, you will get it over time, that you have to go slow to be smooth. And motivate yourself. Very, very important. So when you plan to start, your training, even if it's 15 minutes, the most important thing, or the first thing that I did, I really took this picture of me, my before, and now that I have my after picture, it makes me feel very motivated and happy. And this I tell all my clients, that just click a picture of you, stop getting onto the weighing machine and distracting yourself, click your pictures, and that will motivate you in itself, and you will love it. And I've always done that, and it is in itself very motivating. The next is strength training. The reason why I emphasize on strength training, especially because strength training is very, very important. And strength training doesn't mean that you always have to go to the gym and lift dumbbells. You also can join a yoga class and do asanas, which are based on emphasizing on bearing more weight bearing yogic exercises and asanas. So you can find what interests you and then look at strength in a different perspective. Like for me, both are interesting. So you can take up either of the two and do strength training, because the reason why strength training is important is because it helps you bones stronger, because there is the effect called xyloleptic effect, which is very, very piezoelectric effect, piezoelectric effect, which is very, very important. And that happens when you do strength training. So how it happens: when there is a mechanical force that is applied on your muscles, it passes an electric effect on your bones. And once that happens, the absorption of the calcium and the minerals is much more, and that increases the density of your bones. So that is why strength training is very important, so that your bone strength and your density is maintained. And that in women, especially after menopause, most of them start having osteoporosis and osteoarthritis. That can be prevented. I'm not saying it is not possible, but I'm saying it can be prevented, or it can be delayed in the process if you do strength training. And trust me, strength training just doesn't mean lifting a lot of weight. The reason why I was able to keep up this journey for such a long time is because I've added a lot of variety to my workouts. I've not done only cardio, or I've not done only strength. I've done a mix of everything. Like today also, I attended my yoga class. I'm not a yoga instructor at all, but I have a flair for yoga. And the reason why I know that, because of my inability of my knee, I cannot do it. I just want to do it because I know that this has been trained in a way, my mind that I have trained, it has given me immense capacity to do everything that I want. So I've done Pilates, I've done functional training, I've done high intensity interval training, I do cardio, I go for runs. So keep that variety so that you're able to keep up to this journey. Otherwise, monotony will literally wear you down, and one day you will be like, I don't want to do my fitness journey at all. I don't want to continue because I'm bored. And eventually you will you'll even stop seeing results, because you have done the same workout. Your body gets used to it, and then you stop seeing the results. The reason why I have been able to do it is because I do this variety. So go for different classes, explore different varieties of workouts, explore different trainers, and then, every day have a different workout. That'll keep you going. Rest. This is even more important than workout, because simply rest in itself suggests that you have to rest. But if you look at it, any machine, if you work it continuously, it's bound to wear out, it's bound to heat up a lot, it's bound to get overworked, and one day it will stop working. The same is with the body. Whole day you keep using your body, and whole day you are going from here to there, you're mentally draining your system out. You really need to rest. And when I say rest, doesn't mean that you just have to sleep because you have to sleep. And 8 hours of sleep is very, very important. And this I would really emphasize more on, because as I have PCOD, I have realized that the 2 years of my life in the beginning of my fat loss journey, the most important thing that helped me was sleeping. I made sure that I stopped sleeping in the afternoon. I started sleeping at night early. By 9:30, I would cut myself off from all the gadgets. No TV, no phones, everything, I would shut it off. And I would make sure that I either listen to some soft music and just stay there and lie down. And that eventually put me into practice where I started sleeping for 8 hours. So that is very, very important. Also, one important thing that I did was after 5 p.m., I reduced the amount of caffeine intake, which helped me effectively. And if you can reduce these three, like your caffeine intake after 5, you eat early, you try to avoid your gadgets after 9:30 p.m., you'll be able to get good sleep. When I say muscle recovery, a lot of people think that muscles are made in the gym. It's actually not true. I would say muscles are made in the bed. because you tear the muscles in the gym, you feed them in the kitchen, and you build them in the bed. Because when you are resting, your muscles actually rebuild, strengthen, and they repair. That's why sleep and rest is very important for your muscle recovery. And most important is mental well-being. Extremely, extremely important. So I usually, because I have fought anxiety and depression because of all the episodes in my life, I have understood one thing, that it is very difficult to train your mind and sit in a quiet place and have no thoughts at all, which is not possible. So gradually, I have just started doing one thing. Still, I have not been able to do that. It's been 4 years and I'm still training and still practicing it, because it's not easy. But every day I sit for 1 minute very quietly, just 1 minute, which is enough. 1 minute, start with 1 minute. Always I told you realistic goals. Don't have like 1 hour or 10 minutes. I will sit in meditation. It's not possible. Trust me. You will have all kinds of thoughts. So to avoid those thoughts, just for 1 minute, listen to some music, have your earphones or your headphones on, because listening to music is very important. Put on some soothing music and try to just listen to your breathing. And every time you start getting your thoughts, divert your mind to your breathing. That will actually help you with your mental well-being. That's how I have done it. That's my mantra. Nutrition, very, very important. A lot of people say that 70% is diet. I would say 90% is nutrition. Like literally. If people have said, or rather I have also read, or most of us have read it, abs are made in the kitchen. Yes, abs are made in the kitchen. Very much. So the first thing is protein intake. A lot of people who come to me, or most of the women, they always say, Shivani, I will bulk I will put on weight if I have protein, or I will become bulky like men if I have protein. And today I did not do my workout, so I will not have my protein shake, or I didn't go to the gym, so I will not have my protein shake. But my perspective is a little different. So if we don't go to the gym or we don't work out, we still have our carbohydrates and fats. Then why do we avoid proteins? We never say we'll not have carbohydrates today. We'll avoid fats. We'll not have sugar because I didn't work out. If that's not your mindset, and if that's not your mentality, and if that's not your thought process, then why protein? Adequate amount of protein will not have any adverse effects on your body. The way adequate amount of carbohydrates, and we always talk about portion control. So when we have little, small portions, we tend to, not have any excess that shows up on our body. But if you have excess, it just shows up. So when you say that protein is not required, I say that protein is equally important as much as fats and carbs. I'm not against fats and carbs at all. Throughout, besides once that I was trying different diets because I wanted to understand the fad of keto and paleo and all the intermittent fasting and everything I tried, because I had to write a blog and I'm a blogger. So I love to write. So I tried it because I didn't want to just write a blog without trying and go out there and give information. Okay, this is what it is. But when I tried it, I realized that it has a lot of effects on your body, especially with keto. When I did it, I became very angry. It took a toll over my mental health because it curbs you from your carbohydrates, your sugars. Of course, it has healthy food options and they are healthy carbs. But going on for it for 90 days, I obviously saw results. But it is very, very. I would never suggest, as a nutritionist, I would never suggest keto to anybody unless and until people force me to prescribe them a diet. I'm not against it, but I've seen the adverse. I don't want to prescribe it ever. So when it comes to protein, again, I say that it helps to build muscle. It helps to build muscle. Also, it helps to balance your hormones and your enzymes in your body. And if taken inadequate, it also helps you with your skin and hair growth. A lot of women, they complain about hair fall. But I really haven't experienced this with hypothyroid and PCOD with so many hormonal issues. And I'm also on glycomet because of I'm insulin resistant. So I have never faced all of that. So you have to have your protein intake in an adequate amount. That is equally important. Everybody knows we have to drink water. But I would just cite one little thing about water, why you should have. First, because the whole body, including your muscle, it also includes 70% of water. And the most important thing why you need water is because of your cardiovascular health. A lot of people don't know that when you are dehydrated, your cardiovascular health, that is the functioning of your heart, slows down because the heart has to pump twice the amount to get that energy to start breathing again. So a lot of people, they complain that, I palpitate when I work out, I am not able to breathe well, or because I'm fat, because my cardiovascular health is bad. But water can also be one of the reasons. Enough water, if you don't have it, your heart has to pump twice the amount of energy to bring oxygen in the system. The next is local produce. This is something very important. Why I say local produce? Because back in the days, I was the one who used to be like an avocado lover. And I'm like, okay, avocados, you should have avocados. But avocado is not a produce of this country. It's not locally produced. And when I started researching and reading about it, I realized that the crops that are at their peak of ripeness versus the crops that are harvested early are, because they have to be shipped and distributed to local retail markets, they are less fresh, they don't taste better, they are not full of flavor. And imagine the amount of nutrient content that reduces when it reaches us. And when I was reading about it, I also learned one thing, that the food that are imported from faraway countries have traveled, they sit in the distribution center for such a long time before they get to us. And the reason why avocado is not available in India or in Bombay, and it doesn't grow here, is because we don't need it. God designed everything in a way that we are able to fight the environment around us, depending, and based on that, all the food is designed and grown to sustain that lifestyle. That's why avocado doesn't grow here. So this whole system of, not eating local is something that I'm against, or rather I would say that, have things that are locally produced, because they're more fresh, full of nutrients. And trust me, it's compromised these days. If we talk about food and the habits, everything are a culprit. So if we start eating local produce, it will be more beneficial than having something that is not readily available to us. And multivitamins, very, very important. Multivitamins, people, when I recommend to my clients, they are like, Shivani, I don't want to take one more medication. I was like, no, it's available in a tablet or a syrup form doesn't make it a medication. It is not a medication. It is just a supplement, because our body needs 40 vitamins on a daily basis, which we are unable to provide because of our lifestyle, because of our food habits, because of what we eat. Like, I have this habit of reading the food packets before I buy. When anything, if I read, is added or fortified, I realized that there was a nutrient and then they had to fortify, because in the whole process, they killed it. So there's no point. So then don't buy stuff which are fortified and added because the nutrient content is being added. It wasn't there. Because by the time they made it, it just... So might as well don't have that. So multivitamins are not a cure. It's not a medicine. It would just help. That's all I can say about multivitamins. And that's why I strongly recommend multivitamins. Not that it's going to save you from any diseases, but it can at least help you. Mental health, very, very important. Meditate with music. So the reason why, I already explained this before as well, but just a little thing, that this practice has to be done on day-to-day basis. Even if you don't have time to exercise, make sure that this is a part of your counseling. This is something that I have gone through myself. because I was under depression and anxiety. And I was blessed that my sister was a psychotherapist. And actually, she was a dietitian as well. When she prescribed diets to me, I never followed any of her diets. They're still lying around. But when she became a counselor, that actually helped me more to get into this whole journey and sail through this, is because people are not open to counseling. And I would suggest and recommend that if you are not okay, go to a counselor, go to a professional. Don't talk to your friends and family. It is important to talk to your friends and family, but the help that they can give you to cope up with life and why you are thinking, what you are thinking, the way you're feeling, all of that, they will be able to help you. And they have done, my sister has done an excellent job, including the counselor I had in my life. For 2 years, I've undergone a counseling session. And that's because it is very, very important. I strongly, strongly recommend counseling and visualizing your goal. So I read this book, Secret, and I'm a very strong believer that if you want something, the universe will conspire everything to make it happen. And since I started my fitness journey, at least after a year, I have been saying this to myself even now, that I'm in the best shape of my life. That is there everywhere, like even on my cupboards, my mirrors, my notice board, everywhere. Even on my phone, I've written it. Like my display will always say that train your mind, your body will follow, everything, everything, everything. And here it is. I keep it everywhere. So if you always visualize it, and if you keep everything around you in a way that you visualize it constantly, you'll be able to get what you want. And it will not happen immediately, trust me. But visualizing every day is very, very important. Medical checkup. This is prevention is better than cure. I see a lot of people ignoring this, but I feel it is very, very important. At least once a year, you should get your full medical checkup. Don't wait for you to fall ill and then get a medical test done. Be aware. There are a lot of people who have vitamin B12 deficiency, vitamin D deficiency, and when they start having little here and there aches and pains, they start figuring out, oh, what happened? Then they'll go to a doctor, and the doctor will say, oh, your vitamin D is less. Okay, start having D3 uprise, and then you're going to be okay. But why do you wait for that? Every year, just get one medical test done. Body assessment. This is very, very important because there has to be a balance between your fat and your muscle mass in your body for your wellness. A lot of people, they ignore their body fat analysis or their body assessment, because if you get that done on regular basis, this can be done every month. You can go to hospitals or any fitness centers. They have these body assessment machines, which tells you your fat percentage and your muscle mass. Once you start checking those, you will be able to reduce the risk of heart attacks, cancer, diabetes, and insulin resistant. Extremely important. I highly recommend body assessment and yearly medical checkups. Quick hacks. This is my favorite.
A change, yeah.
Can you change the slide?
I'll just do it right again. Yeah.
This one. So these are the things that I've done. The first one is the apple cider vinegar. I still have it at least 20 ml in a glass of water, regular water, room temperature, before my meal, at least half an hour before my meal. It not only helps in reducing your belly fat, it also helps you with losing weight and also improve digestion. Extremely, extremely important. The reason why I take it is because when I was recommended glucomet because of my thyroid and PCOD, and because I have hormonal imbalances, I started taking them and I started seeing a difference. But here again, mind you, if you go out there and you have a junk food and then you have everything that you're not supposed to be having, and then you have an apple cider vinegar, trust me, it's going to have no results. So please don't even take this as a hack that, okay, I'll eat everything junk and then I will have an apple cider vinegar half an hour before and I'm going to lose belly fat. Trust me, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Because I have clients who tried that and then they came to me and they're like, Shivani, you did it, kuch ho nahi raha hai. I said, of course, what did you eat before that? So you're not supposed to be eating junk and then decide that, oh, apple cider vinegar is going to do wonders on me. Of course not. It's not going to do anything. Besides, insulin resistant is not going to do anything. Breathing technique. Again, why am I emphasizing on this one is because there was something that I read about, okay? So I was reading about it and I realized that when you dominantly breathe from your right hand side, your right nostril, you are hungry. And the digestion of the food is much better than when you breathe from your left nostril. Because your digestion is low is why you're not supposed to eat. So stick to not eating when your left nostril is dominant. This is something that I read and I realized that, let me try this. So I don't recommend or write anything that I have not done it. This is something that I've always practiced. That even in case if I've not tried it, I will not mention anything. Because then I know that the results are not going to be great and then people are going to come up to me and ask me. But I know that this has helped me. For a month, I tried this after reading that every time I used to sit to eat and then I used to check my nostril. And if, I love the food and I'm relishing the food and then all of a sudden my left nostril starts functioning better and the flow is better, I realize, okay, right now, then I'm just dumping my food and I don't need it. I'm done. So when you're hungry, always observe that your right nostril is dominant, then your left. And don't eat if your left nostril is dominant. Drink water or have a green tea, but don't restore to eating. You are actually doing comfort eating and not eating because you are hungry. The best way to gauge. Then jeera water. This jeera is jeera, curry leaves and sauf actually. All three together. You have to roast them, same quantity, 1 fist. You have to roast them together. The curry leaves, you have to just dry them, sun dry them. If there's no sunlight available, just microwave it for 1 minute. Mix all three, roast jeera and sauf in this much quantity. And make a powder, smooth powder. After your meal, half an hour after your lunch and dinner, have it with warm water and lemon in it. It doesn't taste bad at all. Don't strain it, but have it after your meals. The reason why I have it, there are a lot of benefits on Google, which says that they help you lose belly fat and all of that. I have not seen it, but I know that it has helped me with my digestion, my metabolic rate, because I have a body assessment machine at home. So I keep checking my metabolic rate because I constantly want to know the numbers. If I don't see the change in those numbers, irrespective of my weight, I don't believe all these things. But I genuinely started trying this and I realized that it helps me balance my pH value in my body. It also helps remove toxins and manages my metabolic rate. I don't know about belly fat. In case if you lose, let me know. But there are claims that you can. But for me, curry leaves also helps with your hair loss and improving the quality of your hair. So in turn, in case if it doesn't help you with your belly fat alone, it'll help you somewhere. So try it. The next is meal time. I have always set an appointment with myself. Every day I do that. I have this, we all use smartphones, but we don't use it smartly or the way it is supposed to be used. That gadget has a lot of features. Most of them we don't use. Most of the women don't use reminders or they don't set a time. You've always experienced that when you go to a doctor, you'll always take an appointment and you get frustrated when you don't get to meet the doctor at that time. So why don't you have the same thing with yourself? Why don't you set a reminder and a me time appointment yourself? An appointment is something to a doctor, you take it. When it comes to going for a meeting, you take it. But why not when it comes to you, which is extremely important? So me time, because most of the women are busy taking care of their children, their house, but they don't understand that if they are not going to be healthy, if they are not going to be fit, how are they going to take care of everybody around them? You deserve to be fit. You deserve to have that me time to be able to do everything that you're doing. And exercise keeps you fit, not physically only, but mentally as well. Wallpaper on my phone, I already showed you that keep a wallpaper on your phone that motivates you, because everybody, because each one of us have phone or next to us while we are eating. Nowadays, that's very common. So why not have a wallpaper on your phone that motivates you? Portion control. This is something that I have done. So I have a plate which has sections in it, and I eat in those sections only. I fill up food according to those sections, or keep bowls and plates which are smaller in size and fill your plate accordingly, or those bowls. Even when I go to buffet, or if somebody's invited me for an occasion where there's a buffet, or if I have to go to a restaurant where they serve buffet, I always do one thing. I always take a bowl. I never take a plate. Even if I have to get up like 4 5 times, I'll go. Eventually I get bored doing that, so I stop eating. Throughout my journey, I've done that. I still do that. I take a bowl and I'll move around. Everything in that, how much will you fill in that bowl? First of all, it's very embarrassing that itna bhar ke ja rahi hai, to tum itna bharoge nahi. So automatically you'll eat less. The best way to do portion control is bowls mein khana khao. Plate mat lo. Even at home, take a bowl. Don't take a plate. Never. Or take smaller bowls so that you eat less. And don't fill it till the brim. Especially when you go out, you'll not do that. So automatically you will eat less. Motivational videos, very close to me. I've made a playlist on my phone, and I keep listening to motivational videos, because you have to motivate yourself, everybody. Every day you have to do. You cannot be like, Acha, today I'm motivated, tomorrow also I'll stay motivated. It doesn't happen. You have to do it every day. Surround yourself with people who have the same mindsets and thought process. If not, have those videos, watch them, listen to them while you're cooking, while you're walking. Start doing that every day. There are loads and loads of motivational videos available. I do that. More biography. They are more motivational. So you can do. I think there's a technical glitch. We lost you. Okay. And
You there,
quotes on
Shivani?
your mirror.
Okay.
Every woman. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought I lost you for a minute, but you're back. Continue.
So the last one is quotes on the mirror. I have done that. I have post-its all over my mirror. So every morning I get up and I read those post-its. Very, very motivational. You can do that. Post it, write a message that beautiful, I have beautiful eyes. Like, you have to motivate yourself by praising yourself. I love my hair. I love my eyes. I love my body. I have written those and I read them still. First is you have to love yourself, and that will not come because you say it. You have to reinforce every day. And that's why I have post-its everywhere all over the mirror. And I still read them every morning. That is very, very important. And last, change slide,
Yeah.
please.
Yes.
One more. Very happy talking about this, and I'm very thankful again, Sonia, because at Sculptace the approach is all about holistic living. It's not about changing the perception of what people have an imagery of a body. That's not what Sculptace stands for. Like, I intentionally have this habit of bringing in trainers from different varieties of programs that they offer. I don't only offer one set of program like cardio or strength. I do everything. I bring in different trainers because that brings in a variety of clients to my studio, and that helps me to evolve and learn continuously. Through my client who was doing a PhD on PCOD because she had PCOD. So I can't learn if I have just one thing and one format in my head that, okay, this is what helps. Then I'm not going to grow. And if I don't grow, I'm not going to be able to help people. Like, when I entered the gym, there were only machines that help you train. Like, a bicep curl will only help you to do bicep curl. There's only one thing that you can do with that machine. If I have that same mindset, I won't be able to help. And I always tell people that I'm not a trainer, I'm a coach. A trainer will always, train you. A trainer ka kaam hai train karna. But a coach will always be with you, and that comes from my first trainer in my life, who inculcated, or rather, who taught me this, that you have to coach people, be with them, be a part of them. That's all I have to say about my journey and holistic approach. This is what holistic approach.
Thank you so much, Shivani.